Howdy.
This is going to be a super quick meeting. You may at home.
I did make it home. Yeah. And my head, for whatever reason, cannot wrap around time zone changes. And so I thought it was uh 2 o'clock Mountain Time, 1 o'clock Pacific time. So then when I got the reminder from Malia, thank goodness she sends out, then I was like, oh, so it is anyway.
Did you see where I sent you an invite that had all the times on it? Pacific time, 2,
Yeah.
Mountain time, 1. I'm going to just do that from now on for you. So wherever you are, you know what time it is.
Look, I'm smart in some ways, but in some ways I'm just so freaking dense. I don't know. I don't know what the deal is.
I love the one trivia point that there is an area in Oregon that is 1 hour time zone difference from an
Yeah.
area in Florida.
Yeah. Wait. What? Wait.
Yes, there is an area in Oregon that's 1 hour different than an area in Florida.
All right. I'm going to need an explanation.
So it was a part on very eastern part of Oregon that's
Yeah.
in the next time zone.
Yeah.
And there's an area in far west Florida that's in the previous time zone. So now they're just an hour away from each other.
That's just bonkers. That's crazy. Wow.
All right, let's go ahead and get going.
Yes.
You're on, Scott. Commissioner Beckstead. Sorry.
Hi, everyone, and thank you for joining us. And so we've been talking, as you all know, about this evaluation where we evaluate ourselves and the work that we're doing as a commission, and then separately evaluating our director. And so I spoke briefly with Connie this morning, and I noticed that at the top of the evaluation form for the commission, it recommends a neutral party to sort of oversee or I guess sort of preside over this evaluation process. But then it also seems to me, and let me go back and make sure I'm reading it correctly. Hey, any chance, Connie, that you could share that onto the screen so we can see that form? Or otherwise I can if it's easier.
Let me see if I have it handy. Otherwise, I may ask Malia or Karen to see if they can share it. Malia, Karen, do you have that handy? I think I have
Let
it.
me search for it.
I think it may be.
I think it's living in the commissioner's only part of my packet.
I have it handy if you can let me share the screen.
Okay, I can do that. Let me just give you those permissions really quick. All right, you should be able to do that now.
Okay. So move this over here. So if we go to the top, so this is for the commission. And if you look at and these are just recommended assessment, a recommended assessment process. We select a neutral facilitator, and then each of us individually completes the scorecard, and the facilitator would sort of go through and tabulate all of that. And then that facilitator would facilitate a conversation about our responses. And so I don't know if Connie, I mean, and
I
so,
think that's a great idea. And you know what we've done in the past, well, what they've done in the recent past has just been they send in and somebody adds it up and there it is. But since they're sending it in anyway, I would recommend that either we give this to, and since it's would you feel comfortable with a member of the staff doing it, or would you like somebody outside the staff?
I would be fine with staff, although, neutral party kind of, I can see the value, I guess, in having someone who is
How about we have contracted HR outside of our agency? How about I assign it to Karen Parkman to find someone in that group that once we combine everything, that we can give it to one of them and they can come on our next commission meeting.
I like that. I like that a lot. And then in the meantime, between now and then, each of us would fill out this form and then email it to you, Connie, or
Karen Parkman.
okay. All right. So that's good. So again, the process here is as follows. Everyone fill out this form. And then, and I assume we identify ourselves on the form, right?
Yeah, I think you need to.
I think so. So, well, I mean, the alternative would be sort of anonymous, fill them out anonymously, but I think it makes sense to identify ourselves because that helps the facilitator sort of know where, who is where on this. And then we will email Karen Parkman our completed form. Karen will identify a neutral facilitator, and then at the next commission meeting, which would be in July, correct?
We're not having one in July, so it'd be August.
Okay, August, right. And then at that point, that facilitator will sort of go through this process with us, and we can identify areas where we need to improve and where we all agree we are. So is there any questions about that commission evaluation process?
About this entire form or just the process in general? I like the process.
Yeah, the process, and then it's going to be.
And Karen, since we're volunteering you and you've gone through this more times than I have, do you have any comments on that?
No, it's a new flavor to have someone on the outside of the agency score it. So I think that's good. If we can't find somebody, the language is we can find a neutral party. So if we can't find somebody,
I can find someone if that doesn't work, I'll find someone.
Yeah, I think it'll be fine.
And then is it the same process for the director evaluation?
Well, the director evaluation, you guys are evaluating. So I guess the question is, well, I guess you guys could do your own write-ups and that person could talk to just you guys about it. But I think for that, I don't know any reason why they couldn't do it that way. Karen, can you think of anything?
Yeah, I don't know a reason why they couldn't. We've never done it that way. It is up to the commissioners to do the evaluation, and that is done in executive session. So I think that this, I'm not sure. I feel like it's a gray area, like, whether you would want that as the person being evaluated going outside of the agency.
Well, if they're just facilitating.
I think they're just facilitating. So I really like the idea of, again, I think with our goal of being transparent and making sure that, we are holding ourselves to the highest standard possible in terms of how we operate as a group, I think it really makes sense to have a neutral facilitator involved in both of these evaluations. And so my thought would be we all individually fill out both forms, send them to Karen. Karen identifies a facilitator. That facilitator reviews all of our evaluation forms, and then we have that conversation in August. And then I have no problem having that facilitator be part of the executive session to discuss the director evaluation. I think that would be actually entirely appropriate, so that again we can make sure that we're having a conversation that moves forward and is moderated by someone who has all of the results tabulated and kind of in his or her mind.
Yeah, I
okay,
like that.
So,
I-
oh, go ahead.
Go ahead, Karen.
Just that, so we would want that person to be an HR person then from our DCBS people for sure
Correct.
then.
Correct.
And I think it's on the agenda this month though for your evaluation.
Well, it is,
executive session.
it's on there for us, for me to do my presentation to them of what I've done
Okay,
and discuss what my goals are, what I think my goals should be for the next year. But I want the commissioners' input. So I was hoping that all the commissioners could turn everything in by the middle of July. And then the facilitator could help with perhaps, that might be a really great thing for this facilitator to do, is to assist with the goals. For
Could we-
me,
yeah, or she could, or I say she, because I have a person in mind that I think is
yeah, they're all female, our contacts are all female, so it probably will.
Yeah, so anyway, the person that we would get, maybe it would be wise to have that person sit in if we can get them into this executive session so that they hear the evaluation in the executive session. I can try to do that, and then they would have everything they need
Yeah,
to put all of this together for August.
Or
Yeah.
we could just record, we're gonna
And-
record it anyway, so if they're not available at that time,
Right,
send them the recording.
right. Okay,
Either
well, I'll get that part worked out. So we'll either have that person for this month to sit in on that executive session and if we can't, then we'll figure out as we go forward when we're going to do this part, we'll add an executive session for August for the evaluation part too. Sound okay?
sounds great. I really appreciate your working on this for us, Karen.
Yeah, no problem.
Yeah, I
And-
like that too. That's really good input. I like that a lot.
Are there any questions or comments from anyone on this process?
Can we
Anything-
scroll down and look at the rest of this? You know what else we need to do? Actually, scroll up a little bit more. I'm sorry, down.
Make up your mind.
Down, down, down.
Like up, down,
Oh, not that
up.
much. It's okay, making me dizzy. Okay, go back up. Slowly. Oh, I guess it's not there. Go back down. Hang on, that's where I stopped, right there. So the commissioners of the ORC annually review the 4 key performance measures. Karen, we need to add a couple things to that because there's more performance measures now. This is the first
So-
year we have all those
so-
extra ones.
Okay, this is for the legislatively approved additions. Is that
Yeah,
what we're okay. Mhm. Yeah,
so
so we'll have to embellish on that. And that's part of what this form and when you guys meet, that's part of what it's about too, is renewing the form, so to speak. If this isn't working versus that in these questionnaires and all of, it's just kind of an updating what needs to happen.
right, so that would be one area for sure.
So Connie, do you want me to add what those are on this before they're looking at it then?
The
Or
actual
have
one-
that be part of what their discussion is about adding and what they are and what they mean, and then we add them so that they're kind of a part of the process of getting those in there.
I think we might as well add them since we're gonna give them to them again.
Okay.
I mean, it's not like they don't have them, but yeah. I think we go ahead and add it,
Oh,
so.
you mean
they
the
know.
new, they already know of the new additions?
Well, we've talked about them at a high level, so
Okay.
I would put them down and we can
Okay.
discuss. New KPMs to be added. Okay, and then we really need to tie it into our mission and vision as well.
And then we'll revise this form and send it back to you, Scott, then? Is that what, or send it out to all? Okay,
All because then we can, so just to make sure we're clear, nobody is going to take action on this form that you see in front of you that's been previously sent out. we're going to wait until we get a new form from Karen. That's the form that you will then fill out, and we will each individually fill out our form and email it back to Karen.
And I think,
Perfect.
Karen, we wait to send it out until after the executive session.
Yeah, I think so.
There's no more forms going around. They're not confused.
Right.
We'll send this
Right.
one along with the new form to evaluate the director.
Yep.
Makes sense to me.
Is there
Yeah.
anything else down here further? If you scroll down, commission actively participates. Yeah, and you may find things in here you may want to change or address differently. Okay, so I recommend Commissioner Beckstad that you explain this portion at the very beginning when you talk about what we've done at best practices.
In the July meeting or in the August meeting, or
June meeting.
okay,
Just let them know we'll be going to executive session later on to
Yes.
discuss, but this is how we're going to be doing this, just so they know when it comes up.
got it.
So they're not shocked that somebody else is there and kind of understand the process. And this, I like that. I think that'll give us a real good standard going forward for this.
Yeah, I agree. I like the idea of getting a neutral party to sort of facilitate the conversation. That just seems, very above board and avoids any appearance that we're, not availing ourselves of the best possible process. So, any questions or comments from anyone? I think we have a plan.
Yeah, I think it's good.
All
And
right.
we've never had an outside person do this, so I think it's really good.
And we've never really had the form that we have for the director, so that's good too. We're baby steps. We'll keep working on it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, everyone. Well, I appreciate your time, and we will see you later this month.
Sounds good.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye, thank you.